You guys don't need me to talk a whole bunch about this match because you guys already know that I am fired up about this match. For weeks, I have been talking about Big Show versus Rusev, and honestly, this match has turned from what I thought it was going to be into an actual real wrestling match. I thought basically when this match was supposed to be on Monday Night Raw a few weeks ago, it was the one reason why I missed the return of The Rock. Basically, I came home from work, I was sitting here watching some Monday Night Raw, and they say that Big Show had been put on suspension, and basically he had to go to sensitivity training, and basically the Big Show versus Rusev match had been called off, and basically was being pushed back a week. I didn't really see anything out there as The Rock was returning, so, the wife and kids decided they wanted to go out for the dinner, so I went along for the ride. We went to Toby Keith's, and next thing you know, I'm sitting there eating my Mile High nacho and seeing people tweet about The Rock, and I'm just like, I am going to drown myself in guacamole right now. I cannot believe I missed something like that. But I think you have to miss a few moments like that every once in a while to make you realize that the WWE, even though it's sometimes, in October and November and December sort of, sulks off into this, I can't wait till January and the Royal Rumble WrestleMania push. Every once in a while, something's going to happen to make you realize this is why I'm a WWE fan. This is why I watch week in and week out. And even though there's some stuff that I know is bad, I'm going to put up with it because you never know what's coming up in the next segment. That's the way Vince has always done it. Always, to go out and try to make that big splash and that big surprise. Always trying to fight off Monday Night Football. But I couldn't believe it. And then you come back the next week and you actually have the match. Of course, throughout the build up to the whole thing, Big Show's been able to knock out Rusev in their match. Rusev was able to do the unthinkable, basically knocking Big Show down to size and putting Big Show into the accolade before his partner Mark Henry came from the outside. When this first came down, I thought this was basically just a feud to break Big Show and Mark Henry up. This would be a one-off. Basically, Mark Henry would interfere because Big Show was looking like he was going to get the victory over Alexander Rusev, and Mark Henry wasn't going to let Big Show get all of the glory when he, deep down knows that he's able to beat Rusev. He knows that, he could do it, and I think I would really like a Big Show versus Mark Henry match. They've always come out of the way to really, surprised me. I'm not a big Mark Henry fan. I'm not a real Big Show fan. But something when these two guys get in the ring, they really win me over. And I know that I've never gone into a match with high expectations. But maybe they might let me down, and maybe they might not. But I think when it comes down to it, I think this match is going to get a true finish. I don't think this is the match that Rusev is going to lose, although I think I'm behind Big Show to the point where I would love to see him beat Rusev. But I think Alexander Rusev is something special that I think something is being built up for, even if it is, some sort of a match where it's going to be, I don't know, Hulk Hogan versus Alexander Rusev, or maybe more realistically, John Cena versus Rusev at WrestleMania. And I know we've seen this a lot of times. You can think of Muhammad Hassan, you can think of Stinsky, Umaga, the Great Khali. They sort of build these guys up as these unbeatable monsters. John Cena gets their hands on them. Next thing you know, it's the 5 moves of doom, and it's all over. And then you guys don't see these guys anymore because they're washed out mid-carders being released from the WWE. And if you're like Stinsky, you're hanging on, getting a weekly gig at TNA, and they don't even want to have you back. I got no clue. When it comes down to it, on this pay-per-view, I'm going to bet the house on Alexander Rusev. I think he's the guy who's going to pull this victory out, but I'm looking forward to seeing something from the Big Show, putting up a big fight from here. I liked almost everything they did with this feud to get us to this point. I just don't think that this is where Rusev's going to lose. If you can think back to last year, the Hell in the Cell, remember how everybody thought it was going to be a Hell in the Cell Big Show versus Triple H, and that match just sort of drifted off in the middle of nowhere because they did the Big Show versus Randy Orton. championship match, and that was a match that nobody really got behind. So they sort of killed off everything that was Big Show at that spot. And I can't even really think of anything that he's done along the way. Of course, he was at WrestleMania in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. He seemed to be a guy that was a big-time favorite before he got knocked out by Cesaro, for Cesaro to get his victory. And then I can't think of one thing he's done since WrestleMania except pick up a few tag team wins with Mark Henry when they were building up that team before Mark went off to take on Rusev for the first time at Night of Champions. Or no, was it whatever? No, it wasn't. Yeah, it had to have been Night of Champions because it wasn't at SummerSlam. But there you go. Bet the house on Rusev, but this is looking forward to being a real good match. I think these guys are going to beat the hell out of each other. I think Big Show's going to lead Rusev to do a good match. So this is one I got my eyes on to really surprise me. Hopefully it surprises you guys too.